Hi, boys and girls. It's Mr. Page coming at you this week with another lesson, lesson 5.1c interactions between the lithosphere and the biosphere. That's a beautiful picture. Take a look at that. All lithosphere and biosphere. In our prior learning, we talked about sphere interactions and the four dominant spheres: the hydrosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. Those are the four dominant spheres, and one subset of the hydrosphere would be frozen liquid water, which would be ice, and that would be the cryosphere. Let's not forget about the cryosphere because that's where our glaciers are, and that's where all of our remaining fresh water is in the glaciers. And depending on the environmental events that happen, those frozen glaciers, if they melt, it will cause a rise in the sea levels and a whole host of problems that result because of that. So, right now, today, we're going to talk about interactions between the uh, atmosphere and the biosphere. We talked about that last week, actually. Today, we're going to talk about interactions between the lithosphere and the biosphere. So, as previously discussed, an event in one sphere can cause complex chain reactions that impact another or multiple spheres. And here you have, as we showed before, pictures of tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, tremendous lightning storms, which can trigger and start forest fires. Complex chain interactions. Today's objective, we will explore and learn of the many complex chain interactions caused by this one event. Let's explore two spheres today: the lithosphere and the biosphere, as shown by the red arrow. Today's event is going to be a volcanic eruption. And as you can see from the arrows, there can be many interactions between different spheres: hydrosphere and atmosphere, biosphere and hydrosphere. All, as you see, arrows all over the place. One event can cause a chain reaction that can impact several or even all of these spheres. Now, here's a picture of a volcanic eruption. It happened on July 10th of 1980, about 30 years before you were born, for most of you. It was the Mount St. Helens eruption, Washington State, United States. It's in the northwest corner of our country. It's above California, and all the way up in the uh, upper left-hand corner of our country, Washington State. It was the most devastating volcanic eruption in recorded American history. Take a look at that picture. Also, I'm going to post a video on YouTube along with this video. So there'll be two videos for this week: one for this lesson, and one which will show you a time lapsed um, uh, set of pictures and video of events that resulted in this tremendous, horrific volcanic eruption. So, a volcano can affect the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and the biosphere. Volcanoes, uh, they are an event in the lithosphere. They release a large amount of particulate matter into the atmosphere, as you saw in that picture, clouds blooming up into the atmosphere. These particles serve as nuclei for the formation of water droplets in the hydrosphere. Rainfall, which is hydrosphere, often increases following an eruption because of the formation of all the water droplets in the atmosphere. Rainfall stimulates plant growth, which is the biosphere. So you see there's that interaction. Particulate matter in the air, in the atmosphere, falls out, falls to the ground, initially smothering plants in the biosphere. So the immediate reaction is that all that cloud of dust hits the ground, eventually falls to the ground, and smothers all of the plants. It can kill them all. Ultimately, however, over time, that cloud of dust has a lot of minerals in that cloud of dust that falls to the ground. And eventually, it enriches the soil, which is the lithosphere, and thereby stimulating better, more plant growth in the biosphere. Volcanoes, which are again events in the lithosphere, may release a substantial amount of hot lava, which is also coming from the ground, so that's lithosphere, right? Lava causes, however, mountain glaciers, which is part of the hydrosphere, actually cryosphere, causes them to melt. Mud flows because of all this moisture in the soil. Mud flows and flooding can occur downstream from the volcanoes and may flood streamside communities, which is biosphere. So it impacts life, human life, plant life, mud flows. It can affect life, destructively affect life. Volcanoes release a large amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which can cause global warming, which can cause more glacier melting. Carbon dioxide is the raw material, photosynthesis, for sugar production in plants, which is the biosphere. This may increase photosynthetic production and eventually increase the amount of biomass or plant life, which after a long time forms coal and oil deposits in the lithosphere. So you have all this um, cloud dust, carbon dioxide, increases plant life. Plants eventually die. Plants, when they die and decompose, plants form the basis for fossil fuels, oil, gas, and methane. So that's it. Until next time, boys and girls, feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to. Be sure to complete the assignments associated with this lesson. And remember, you know what to remember. Learn something new every day. Every single day, learn something new. Learn something new every day. Isn't that a beautiful picture of our building? I can't wait to get back in there. I miss you guys. Love you guys. Up next, the planets and our solar system explained.